What's up, everybody? My name is Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ. And today, in collaboration with Opportunity Desk, I'm interviewing Brian Kakembo right here on NIKKI BANZ Live! Yee. Hello there, beautiful people. What's good? What's poppin'? What's crack-lackin'? What's shaking? It's amazing to see all of you here for yet another week of your favorite interview series, NIKKI BANZ Live. That is correct. We are back in action, and we've been back the last couple of weeks because we are doing an incredibly exciting media takeover of NIKKI BANZ Live with the one and only Opportunity Desk. And the thing that I just absolutely love about this is like the perfect collaboration, right? It's like Opportunity Desk, the world's biggest platform for international research, fellowships, scholarships, all these things, along with your girl NIKKI BANZ, who's got the most dynamic and international audience out there, okay? Match made in heaven. Win, win, win. W's across the board. You already know the vibes. So last week on NIKKI BANZ Live, I interviewed Tito Tri Gaddafi from Indonesia. And Tito was the runner-up of the 2023 Opportunity Desk Impact Challenge. And today, party people, I am interviewing Brian Kakembo, who was the winner of the 2023 Opportunity Desk Impact Challenge, which is just so cool and so amazing. Shout out to everybody in the building who is joining me here today. Talking Drums Travel, what's up? Honey Long Grace, what's up? Lala Ivano, what's good? I see my dear Studio Demaxi in the building. So amazing to see all of you fabulous humans here. Thank you for joining me. It's actually just been so lovely to have this beautiful resurgence of NIKKI BANZ Live over the past couple of weeks. You know, your girl over the course of 3 years interviewed nearly 100 people from 35 different countries, literally interviewing journalists, actors, rappers, dancers, all sorts of people all over the world. And we are bringing it back to you here today, okay? To just bring you another incredible conversation with an incredible entrepreneur, and this time with somebody from Uganda. And I gotta say, you know, I've interviewed people all over the African continent. We in South Africa literally right now. I've interviewed people from Nigeria, I've interviewed people from Tanzania, I've interviewed people from Namibia, people from South Africa, like all over the African continent. But this is my very first guest from Uganda, which I'm super excited about. Give it up one time. Yes. So, for those of you who don't know, NIKKI BANZ Live is your favorite Tuesday interview series where I'm bringing you exclusive conversations with the world's most dynamic change makers from across the globe. You can follow me on Instagram at @TheyCallMeBanz to watch every single episode ever of NIKKI BANZ Live, as well as on YouTube. On YouTube, youtube.com/@Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ, and you can see all of the interviews there as well, which is just absolutely amazing. Literally nearly 100 interviews there, and this interview tonight is going to be a part of it. And so, look, that's NIKKI BANZ Live. All right. And now Opportunity Desk. I'm telling you, if you don't know about Opportunity Desk, I'm about to put y'all on right now, because even outside of this media collaboration, Opportunity Desk is one of my favorite platforms. Literally opportunitydesk.org. You go onto Opportunity Desk, and what you have there is international fellowships, international conferences, international scholarship opportunities. If you are a young person looking to make an impact anywhere in the world, Opportunity Desk is your platform to do so. And so the people who are joining me here as part of this media takeover on NIKKI BANZ Live are the winners of the Opportunity Desk Impact Challenge, which is just like so cool and so amazing. So shout out to all of y'all for showing your support. Yes, Kazi B in the building, Nina in the building, I am Tungs in the building, Tito in the building, who I interviewed last week. We love to see it. All right, party people. I know y'all didn't come on to hear from me, even though I know you love hearing my voice. All right, now is the time to shine. I'm going to bring on the one and only Brian Kakembo, who is the founder and executive director of WEYE Clean Energy in Uganda. He is a conservationist, an environmental sustainability expert. He is a young person who is changing the world one sustainable briquette at a time. And I can't wait to hear all about it. Brian, I know you're there. I'm about to bring you on right now. And this is super exciting. Once again, NIKKI BANZ Live by Opportunity Desk. Let's get it poppin'. About to bring him on right now. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, Brian, here we go. live, and let's get this interview started. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Just giving it one moment for Brian to join us, and we're going to get this party started. All right, party people, we are waiting for Brian Kakembo to join us live right now. If you are here with us in the chat, go ahead and introduce yourself. Who are you? What country are you representing? Where are you coming from? I know that the NIKKI BANZ live audience is totally international, so y'all got to tell me in the comments who's in the building here today. I want to know. I want to see it. Who is here? Who is with us today? Drop a flag in the comments. Let me see it. I want to know. I am in South Africa right now, even though you already know I'm half Black American, half Iranian from the United States, but now I'm in South Africa. My guest today is from Uganda. So, you know, we super international here on NIKKI BANZ Live. All right. We're waiting for Brian Kakembo to join us right now, the founder and executive director of WEYE Clean Energy. Another super fun fact about Brian is that Brian is a 2021 Forbes Africa 30 under 30 recipient. Yes, y'all. I gotta give him the DJ horn for that one. We absolutely love it. We love to see young, dynamic men from across the continent just shining on the world stage, and that is exactly what our friend Brian is doing. Don't worry at all. We're just giving him a couple of moments to join. Brian, whenever you are ready, hop on this live. We are ready to get this interview started. We're ready to get it popping. This is the moment. This is our time to shine. Super exciting. And look, everybody, for those of you who have been following me on Instagram, you know I have been in the middle of this crazy world tour. And it's so exciting because we are literally leading to the buildup of Started Up Season 3, which is just so incredible. Season 3 of Started Up. Can you believe we're already on 3 seasons? It's totally wild. I love it. We've been traveling to India, to Oman, to the United States, to the UK. We're totally international, and it's just been such a joy. Truly, truly, truly such a joy. I see we got Brian in the chat. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Brian. I'm trying to add you on. I've just sent you an invite. I have just sent you a request to join the live. Travel Freak 256. You already know that's definitely going to be one of my questions about why the handle is Travel Freak 256. I want to know of the dopest places you ever joined to. Brian, it is telling me that you are unable to join. So I don't know if you have your live settings on so that you can join an IG live. I don't know if you've ever joined a live before. It's going to be your moment to shine. No worries. We're going to figure it out. Maybe turn Instagram off and then turn it back on again. Come and hop back in. It's all good. Shout out to my boo, Charles, who just entered the building. Hey, Charles. Thanks for being here. This is one of the things that I have to say I've actually really loved about doing a live show. It's like, how do you navigate when there are challenges in real time? Like if a guest can't join the live, or if there's someone's Wi-Fi isn't working, or for those of us in South Africa, the power goes out because it's load shedding. Like you literally just never know. You literally just never know what's going to happen on an IG live. And it's been one of the best parts about doing this show is that I get to just try it out, figure it out, and see what happens. So I'm inviting Brian on right now. Hopefully he can join. And you know what's crazy too is that like you think that all these apps are the same in different countries, but like WhatsApp, for example, across the Middle East, you can't make WhatsApp phone calls. Like when you're in Qatar, when you're in the Emirates, like when you're in Saudi, you can't make WhatsApp phone calls. So it's like, well, you have to use some other method to make a phone call. You can send messages but not calls, right? Which is so crazy. And then there's some countries as well where you actually can't go live on Instagram unless you have a VPN. So I hope that's not the case for Uganda, because if that is the case for Uganda, then we're gonna be struggling right now. But Brian, I see you. I'm trying to get you into the live. I'm hoping it's gonna work. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully you do not need a VPN to enter the live. But if you do, maybe you have a VPN and maybe you want to turn it on so you can come join me. But it's actually just been such an interesting experience to learn like what different people are doing, how they go live, what countries have what regulations and whatnot. Shout out to my boy Sai, who just hopped in the building, another amazing guest on NIKKI BANZ Live, the dopest content creator out of India, doing the most amazing videos about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Shout out to you, Sai. Love you. Hope you're having so much fun with Ross and with Travis. Oh, so jealous that y'all are all living your best lives in India right after I left. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. We're all going to do a link up one day. Me, Sai, Ross, Travis, all guests on NIKKI BANZ Live, by the way. You know, I only pick the best of the best. Only pick the best of the best. We're waiting right now on Brian Kakembo to join us here on NIKKI BANZ Live. If you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, go ahead and do that at They Call Me Bands. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ. And yeah, you already know the vibes. Party people, we here vibing, riding, wilding, just waiting. And honestly, it's just such a pleasure to have you all here. NIKKI BANZ Live was my first show. So when NIKKI BANZ Live started, I was like, you know what? I want to have a TV show, but I have no network behind me. So what am I going to do, right? Like, what am I going to do in the moment if I don't have a network? And I was like, I'm going to start my own show. So I decided to have NIKKI BANZ Live, where every single Tuesday for 2.5 years, I hopped on and did a different interview with a different person from a different country. And it was just incredible, you know, and it taught me so much about how to be a host, how to be an MC, how to ask thoughtful and interesting questions, how to actively listen and respond to people who were watching this content and who I was talking to and engaging with, how to listen to and understand different accents from different places all over the world, and how to captivate an audience for a full hour, right? Because you could be doing literally anything right now, but you're here right now rocking with me on NIKKI BANZ Live. I feel so grateful. I feel so blessed. Yes, Sai. So happy to watch NIKKI BANZ Live after so long. I know. She's back. She's back. It's super exciting. I see Jose Antonio is in the building. Imad is in the building. And you know, like, it's just been such an incredible learning journey. And if I could say, like, if I have any tips or any advice from doing this journey, it's two things. Number one is just start. Like, it's okay to just start. It's okay if you don't have the best quality iPhone. It's okay if you don't have a ring light. It's okay if you don't have like the most amazing sort of scripted interviews. It's okay. Just start. That's like advice number one, because while you're waiting, scheming, planning, like other people are already rocking and rolling. So just start and see what happens. You will absolutely learn as you go. That would be advice number one. And advice number two that I would say is that, you know, just be consistent. Just be consistent. I went live here on Instagram every Tuesday for legit like 2.5 years. And now Brian is live with me. Hi there. Oh my gosh, can you hear me? Okay, so I cannot hear you. I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. It's like sounding really loud and like scratchy in the background. But at least we can see you, which I'm so excited about. Welcome everybody. We finally got your boy Brian Kakembo here on NIKKI BANZ Live, which is amazing. Now we're just gonna make sure that the audio works.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Honestly, Brian, at the 15-minute mark, if you hadn't come on after 15 minutes, I was like, we're going to call it. We're going to reschedule it. We can't do it. You came in like right at the nick of time.
I actually didn't know that I have to use a VPN. When you spoke about it, then it clicked as that I should use a VPN.
Yes. And you know, it's really like just depends on the country. Some countries you don't need a VPN. Some countries you do. And like, you literally just never know. You're my very first guest from Uganda. So I have no idea what the IG Live regulations are in Uganda. Now we know.
This is my first Instagram live, so it's a learning lesson.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first IG live ever. Well, welcome. I'm so excited to have you. This is our NIKKI BANZ live and opportunity desk takeover. We're so excited to have you here because you are literally the winner, numero uno, number one of the Opportunity Desk Impact Challenge 2023. It is my absolute honor to be interviewing you and to be celebrating all of your success. So thank you for being here, Brian.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, I have to say, Brian, your audio is still just like a little bit, like it kind of sounds like a bit far away, like maybe like you're in a fishbowl or something. So maybe the people in the audience, like, tell me, how does Brian sound to you? Is it just me, or can y'all hear him okay? Let me know in the comments. Because it sounds like you're a little bit far away, but maybe it's gonna get better now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, I think you're with us now. I can hear you better now. Amazing. Okay, Brian, let's kick this interview off. For the people who are just meeting you right now for the very first time, for folks who have never met you before, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kakembo Brian. I hope my audio is now much better.
Perfect.
Yes, my name is Kakembo Brian, and I'm the founder of WEYE Clean Energy. It's a social enterprise that is using waste energy technologies to promote clean cooking solutions across Uganda. And these solutions come all the way from the cooking fuels, that is we produce briquettes. We also kind of practice biogas production and distribution. We also look into the apparatus that use these fuels, that is clean cook stoves for businesses and for households. We also go ahead and do teaching or training for youth and women across Uganda, how to produce briquettes, how to use briquettes, how to distribute them, how to build stoves, how to use the stoves. And so we have successfully trained over 800 youth and women across the country. We have also, we supply various industries with briquettes, schools, prisons, and normal households. Right now we have about 210 households that are part of our customer chain. So yeah, we're trying to do it. We're trying to do it.
I absolutely love it, Brian. You are not trying. You are 100% succeeding with your incredible social enterprise. And I'm curious, when did environmental sustainability become important to you? What is your earliest memory of being, a climate change warrior?
Without knowing, I was, because I come and so it is part of our culture and it's part of our lifestyle to be in a green environment and to have sustainable practices that make sure that the future island children or island parents have the same. But if I could like point time where I decided that, well, it's now time that I actually promote business practices.
Brian, hold on, Brian. I'm gonna pause you just for 1 second because your audio's cutting in and out again, so we can't hear
Oh,
you so perfectly. I don't know if it's the headphones or something else. At the beginning, it was fine. Then it just changed now. So maybe try to talk one more time.
so,
Okay. I think it's still cutting in and out. Is maybe we try without the headphones if that's possible. Let's try.
all right, is that much better?
Yes, that's better. That's better.
Oh,
Because I feel like this is a story that we need to hear about how you first got invested in sustainability. So yeah, so go ahead and break it down for us now that we can hear you.
So, from childhood, this comes way all the way from childhood. I grew up in an island community, and so by virtue of being an island child, we have our practices, our culture is based on sustainability. The way we do our things should make sure that the future children of the island or the future parents of the island can also have the same opportunities and the same resources that we have had. And so it's deeply rooted within us, within our childhood, within our culture. But also, if I'm to point to a time within my adulthood that I decided that now it's time to actually take action, um, I got an opportunity to attend the International Student Energy Summit in Bali. It's organized by Student Energy Global. And this summit was amazing because it was the first time I actually came out of the comfort, the bubble of my country to see what other youth around the world are doing and how they are actually succeeding to start up amazing projects across the world. And so within one of their sessions, I got to hear from different speakers of how different problems in our countries can be solved by us and what we should do or what we could do. And so I chose to go the route of clean cooking because, well, um, the demand for clean cooking is so high in my country, and that sector itself had a lot of challenges. And so I believed that is where I was born to make a change. And so I just went ahead and took action.
I absolutely love this intersection between you growing up with that island culture, knowing that every resource matters, and knowing that you have to think, thoughtfully and intentionally about what you're using, what you're putting back out. And then also having an incredible international travel opportunity to sort of connect the dots between what people are doing around sustainability in other countries. And it really just goes to show like the power of learning, of cross-cultural exchanges, of international conferences, being able to connect with like-minded peers from different countries who can say, oh, in our country we do this, or in our country we do that. And instead of looking at those things as being different, you're like, wow, I can learn from that. I can learn from this. I think that's so amazing that you had that opportunity.
Yeah.
And it seems like you've had quite a few opportunities to travel internationally and to immerse yourself in a global community of young climate change activists. And so I would love to hear about some of the conferences or some of the opportunities that have really motivated you and inspired you as you've continued on this sustainability journey.
Oh yeah. Number one, hands down, has always been the International Student Energy Summit. It happens every after 2 years, and it has been across the world, like Bali. It has been in Merida, Mexico. It has been in the UK. It is, and we. I'm always hoping on that opportunity. Like I'm always jumping on it because every conference, every summit comes with a different set of people, different set of companies, different set of change makers that are doing awesome work across the world. And so, hands down, the International Student Energy Summit has always been my number one event. Number one. I would also kind of point out the UN Climate Change Conference of Parties, COP, which happens every year. And the most outstanding for me would be Egypt, because then that was the first time we had a booth, or like a booth for youth and children. And so that was kind of like the first time where we had like youth and children having their own space to organize their own workshops, organize their own pitch sessions, invite guests, and kind of have a talk between youth. How do you do it in Nigeria? How do I do it in Ghana? How do I do it in Uganda? And how do like other youth then replicate or even just bring their own ideas and get support, you know? And so COP and COI is the climate conference of youth, which also happens. It's more like a precursor to COP, so it always happens way before COP. And these events kind of bring us youth together, and you kind of now know what your friend is doing at that moment and how
Right.
that idea can fit into your idea, and how then you can make both of your ideas more awesome.
I love, love, love that. And I'm curious, Brian, I have to ask you, were you at the most recent COP in Dubai this past December?
Unfortunately, no. I didn't go to COP in Dubai.
Okay, okay. Okay, because I was there. I hosted a panel on the youth stage. So that's why I was like, maybe we walked right past each other and I didn't even see you. So, okay, but you weren't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at COP is, for those who are unfamiliar, right? COP, like you said, is the climate change conference, the conference of the parties. It brings together everyone, right? It brings together government, it brings together civil society, it brings together youth organizations, it brings together the private sector to talk about how we mitigate climate change and from so many different perspectives. And so when I was there hosting a panel on the intersection of climate change and the media. So what can we as the media, as the press, as storytellers be doing to tell more impactful stories that really affect how people engage with our climate, with our planet? And so, yeah, so I hear you. It's always a beautiful convening of all sorts of great minds around the world at these big conferences. And that's what Opportunity Desk does, right? Opportunity Desk lets you
Yeah.
know that this youth summit is happening at COP, or this research opportunity is happening coming up,
Yeah.
in the world. I'm curious, Brian, when was the first time that you sort of got introduced to Opportunity Desk?
Uh, Actually, that should have been in 2020. I was I was having a discussion with one of my friends who is based in the UK, and she was telling me how she kind of like gets to know most of our events and how she kind of gets to know them before most of us. So therefore, it's like she has an upper hand because she applies earlier. And so I asked, and then she took me through Opportunity Desk, the website, and different opportunities. And from then on, I signed up for the newsletter, and then signed up for notifications. So every time a new opportunity is put out there, I am the first to know. Like I and a few people there are the first to know.
I love that. I love that. And if you are somebody who is looking to have new opportunities around the world, have new internship opportunities, or learn about global competitions related to your sector or your industry, truly, I think there's no better platform for Opportunity Desk. And then even for me, like I have gotten fellowships and other competitions that I've won through Opportunity Desk as well, which is why it's such a treat to like kind of come back to Opportunity Desk in this way and interview
Yeah.
you as the winner of the Impact Challenge. What was it like for you winning the 2023 ODIC?
I it I don't know. It was unexpected because I I thought I could see most of the people that applied really had amazing projects, and so it was really competitive, and you could tell it took the judges some good time to find the winners, right? So I took it upon myself when they kind of released the shortlist, and so I took it upon myself to go through all of them and see, oh, who am I competing with? And oh my God, it was, yeah, it kind of like felt so good to have won, because then it gives you this affirmation that, yeah, you are doing something great, because all these ideas are perfect. All these ideas are wonderful and have so much impact. And for you to turn out to be number one among them means that you're doing something really, really different, or something unique and really impactful.
Mm. And your work truly is so impactful. And it's not even just Opportunity Desk that is recognizing your contributions to Uganda and to the world, right? You were also a Forbes 30 under 30 Africa recipient in 2021, which is a
Yeah.
huge honor and accomplishment, And so it's really amazing to see you putting yourself out there, working on something that is really critical, right? We're at this intersection in the world where people need energy, they need solutions, to resources, and you are providing that. And I'm curious, tell me, Brian, like, I think most young people, they're taught like, okay, go to school and then get a job, right? Like that's like what people are told. But you decided, I'm going to go to school and start my own job. I'm going to go to school and create my own company. Why did you decide to pursue the path of entrepreneurship, starting your own company instead of deciding to go work for somebody else?
Well, to be honest, I have always wanted to kind of pursue a career within the sustainability space, but then you find that in my country, there are few organizations with that option, right? There are few companies or organizations that give you the opportunity to kind of bring in the sustainability element or the climate or green idea or green kind of practice. And so I felt like it would not make me happy to move into something I don't feel passionate for, right? And so if if some if the space can't accommodate you, right? And this is one thing I got from the International Student Energy Summit, that if the space can't kind of occupy you or can't absorb you, then create your own space, right? So I decided, yeah, let me create my space. Let me be the one to create the space for other people who are like-minded, right? And let us then get our ideas and the way we want to do them and then put them into action, and then we'll create the space.
Okay, for everybody who is watching this on IG Live right now, or everybody who is watching the rerun on YouTube, can we please listen to what the man just said? He said, if a space cannot accommodate you, then you create your own. Come on now. I had to give you the DJ horn for that one, because Brian, that is some bars right there. And I think that so many of us trap ourselves into this idea of thinking that like we need to fit into a space or we need to make it work no matter what, when really your dreams, your goals, your aspirations might simply just be bigger than the space. And if that's the case, then go make your own space.
Yeah, definitely. And it takes some hard work, but it's fulfilling. It's really, really fulfilling.
Absolutely. And I see Afua Sam in the chat from Studio Demaxi, another guest here on NIKKI BANZ Live, saying yes in all caps with the muscle arm. I love to see it. Brian, your words are totally resonating with folks here today. And I want to know more about what the like entrepreneurial space is like in Uganda. Is it a space where young people have the opportunity to start their own businesses and work collaboratively? Are there incubators? Are there opportunities for funding? Is that something that's like quite common in Uganda?
I would say it is a space that is accommodating. It is really accommodating. It has its challenges. For example, when like you mentioned funding, right? Funding is really hard to get. You have to get really, really creative with that, right? And then also finding kind of the support mechanism is quite hard, right? The space is accommodating. It will let you start your business, right? You can start anywhere, but the mechanism or the ecosystem does not really exist to help you sustain it, right? So most of the businesses or entrepreneurs in Uganda, they start and within 1 year or two they are out, right? Why? Because the ecosystem is not really favoring them. But it's getting better. From the time we started 6 years ago, it was really bad. It's getting better now. So we have had programs, incubator programs like UGEFA, which is the Uganda Green Enterprise Finance Accelerator, that is funded by the European Union. And this has gone as far as looking out for all green entrepreneurs and trying to give them support on how to kind of become fundable or financeable, bankable, right? They help you go through your ideas, refine your business models, kind of give you approaches on financing. Do you need grant financing? Do you need debt financing? How then do you make whatever financing you've gotten really work efficiently for you to grow? So they have been a very big factor. UGEFA has been a very big factor in green entrepreneurship here in Uganda.
It's really nice to know that even in your journey as an entrepreneur, you've been able to see and discover and learn about how different organizations and different programs from around the world are really investing in Uganda and in young talent. And I think folks like you, Brian, are really just such an inspiration and such a role model to young people across Uganda who are looking at you being like, wow, like this is one of our own, like this is one of our own on the global stage, you know, at COP, at all these big international conferences, you know, getting MBAs from universities overseas, right? Like you truly are such a shining example of what the future of the African continent looks like, what the future of sustainability looks like. And I'm curious for all the young people who, you know, are watching you right now, who are watching this interview saying, I want to be just like Brian when I grow up. What do you say to those young people?
I always tell everyone I meet that we all have a different path, a different idea of what we want to be, right? But there's one common factor is that we all want to get there, right? The common factor is that we want to get there. How we get there depends on maybe environmental circumstances but the idea is that if you want it, don't give up on it, right? Create it. Work day and night for it, right? Because the truth is, if you are following a career path, right, if you do things right, you're going to kind of get promotions and then you go up. It's the same as entrepreneurship. If you have an idea that you want to start, if you have a goal that you want to reach, wake up every morning with that goal in mind and always set small targets to make sure you meet the bigger targets, right? You wake up in the morning and say, today, if I want to make $100,000 today, let me find a way to make $10 or $100. So if I can make $100 daily, then it will take me so and so time to make $100,000. And anywhere you are, any country you are, give it, even if it's a very poor economy or a very rich economy, we all have the opportunity to break through. We all have the chances. We just have to research, we have to consult, we have to join different programs, we have to teach ourselves, equip ourselves so that we know, we get the knowledge, and then we get the skills, and then we get the networks. And with that combined, we work hard enough and we shall get anything that we want.
Mm, mm, mm. I love it, Brian. I see that the chat is like blowing up right now with claps and excitement and muscle arms because you're really just speaking to an unparalleled work ethic and resilience, right? Get the knowledge, get the resources, and then get the networks, make that dream happen no matter what, no matter how much time it takes, no matter how slow you start at the beginning. Just keep pushing toward it and you can make any of your dreams come true. You don't have to make $100,000 on day one. You can make $10 and that is a step in the right direction. I want to know, Brian, what are some of the highlights of your career journey so far with WEYE Clean Energy? Talk to us what some of the biggest, most inspiring moments have been for you so far.
I think the most satisfying, let me start from the most satisfying moment. So the most satisfying moment was the time that we clicked the 800th trainee, right? We have been training different groups of women and youth across the country from all the way from 2015 actually. And then we kind of got registered in 2018, but it was so satisfying when it was, I think it was 2021, when we actually got to do the math and we realized we have trained over 800 people. Like, we have been to over 800 people. Like, it was amazing. That felt so good. And also another moment that was like, aha, was the time that we were selected during the time of it was in 2020, and they were choosing the Commonwealth Young Person of the Year, the Commonwealth Youth Awards, and they were choosing the Commonwealth Young Person of the Year. And then my project, and I, of course, turned out to be the number one. And so I ended up with the title Commonwealth Young Person of the Year. And that was like an aha moment. I'm like, wow, yeah, now that, yes, I feel like all the effort that I've put and everything that I've done, someone says it. Someone knows how good it is, and so I should put more effort and kind of like take it out there, get more people to do it, and get more people to replicate it in different countries, and that was so amazing.
You have
Oh,
worked so
and of course,
hard.
of course,
On
even the Forbes 30 under 30, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Forbes 30 under 30 Commonwealth Young Person of the Year, training 800 women and young people in your clean energy program. You have worked so incredibly hard to achieve these milestones, and everything that you do has this social impact focus, right? You are a social entrepreneur. You are a for-profit company with a social good, and you're actually investing in marginalized communities, right? Women and young people. Why is it so important for you to have women and young people in particular going through your program to help create and sustain this clean energy future?
Those two categories are kind of like the most crucial. I will start with the youth. The youth are the future, right? And we can't build anything sustainable without having the people that will sustain it, right? And so the
Right.
trick is to make sure is to make sure that young people are well equipped to do it, right? Secondly, in my country, the youth are the biggest age group, right? So that's a lot of manpower. Equip that manpower, give it the right skills and give it the right resources, and it will be impact. It will be impact. And so then I decided, yeah, youth, my people, have to go first. And so the category of women is kind of in our culture the most impactful, because you find that, one, when women decide to do something, they perfect it. It's not just when it comes to work, it's even in their social lives. They really, really perfect it. And historically, they have not been given that much chances like men. And so we have seen that when they're given those chances and the skills and the resources, things really work well. And within our culture, women have a more family centric focus, that all the resources that they get come back to the family, which doesn't tend to be the same for men. And so if you have 5 women and 10 men, you find that the impact from the 5 women is more than the 10 men, because the 10 men will have more focus onto themselves and their growth,
Mm.
whereas the women will have focus on themselves, their families, and the people around them. So it's kind of like that natural characteristic that comes into the impact process and the impact thinking. So that's why I chose those two.
I hear you. I hear you. And the chat is literally blowing up. The people in the chat saying, you can say that again. Just talk. I see kisses. I see wow. Like, the chat is just going crazy right now, Brian. And I think it just goes to show how much intentionality you have put into every aspect of your business. It truly is a circular economy. It is a circular business. You're thinking about young people, right? Like, if we're going to have a sustainable future, it's youth who are going to sustain that future.
Yeah.
It's women who are investing in the realities of communities right now, perfecting their
Yeah.
expertise, having that community oriented outlook on the business and on the environment as a whole, right? And creating opportunities for them they're just going to keep on giving and giving and giving. And I want to talk a little bit about like your actual product, right? Like these briquettes that you have, because it's totally incredible and it's totally revolutionary what you've been able to create so that there are clean energy options for folks across Uganda and hopefully one day the world to actually be able to use, you know, alternates to wood, to firewood, and to coal, and to other sources of sort of fire or burning things. So talk to us a little bit about like the actual briquettes that WEYE Clean Energy is sustaining.
So our briquettes are kind of a carbonized version of. So there are so many types of briquettes. We have the non-carbonized and the carbonized. And so the carbonized briquettes, we get the agricultural waste. We carbonize it. It's more like it's a process of burning that doesn't end up into ash, so it doesn't really release its carbon, so it retains the carbon and the energy property, much of the energy properties. And so when the bio-waste is carbonized, then it's crushed and then mixed with a binder and then extruded into a briquette. And so this briquette is, because of the process that it goes through, it kind of has 3 times the energy. It produces 3 times the energy that the normal wood charcoal would produce. And so by virtue of that, it's way better already. But at the same time, it doesn't produce smoke because it has gone through the carbonization process, so it has lost all its moisture content. So it's now a much better product. So you burn it, no smoke, right? And that's one of the things we want to kind of get out of the households, because smoke then brings indoor air pollution. Another property that it has is that it burns 3 times longer. This is because you've compacted so much energy in one piece, like, so you get so much material compacted into a small piece. And so this piece then will burn much longer than the ordinary. So this is very useful for some industries. For example, the poultry farming, they require energy to kind of produce warmth for the young chicks. And so these chicks require that level of heat through longer periods of time throughout the night, right? And so if you're using ordinary wood charcoal, then you're going to use a lot of quantities, and so you have more emissions. And if you have these briquettes, they're going to burn longer. So few quantities burning much longer, so less emissions. And so, of course, it also protects your chicks because it doesn't produce smoke, so they don't inhale that smoke. So all these properties then made our product much more valuable compared to most of the competition, which is the wood fuel and the firewood itself. So
wow,
it has been a really good journey because we have researched so much, we've put so much research into our product, and we keep changing it, we keep improving it, because we keep getting different materials across the country and testing to see which is now the better bio-waste material. So which different bio-waste has different properties. So we keep testing and making sure that briquette will remain the best in the country.
Honestly, congratulations on such an innovative and thoughtful product. And it's clear that there are so many applications, right? It's not just B2C, right? It's not just straight to the consumers, right? It's actually a B2B product as well, where you can have the chicken hatcheries, and you mentioned schools, you mentioned prisons, right? There are so many applications for this product. And you've created something that's like environmentally sustainable as well. And so you're not just an entrepreneur out here, you're also an innovator, right? Which I just think is just so incredible. And I see Dimps084 Priyanka in the chat saying super interesting. And it's true, this is incredibly interesting. And I feel like this is the technology of the future. This is the way that we create sustainable and innovative solutions for clean energy on the African continent and across the world. And it's really like young people and pioneers like you who are thinking creatively about how to create solutions that are good for our planet, good for our people, good for our communities, and just good all around. So shout out to you, Brian.
Thank you.
I gotta say, you know, for everybody watching this right now, if you are not following Brian yet on Instagram, I literally need you to go to the top of your page, see that little white arrow right in the middle center of the page here on the IG Live. Click on that and you can literally go follow Brian right now. You can follow me as well at They Call Me Banz. You can follow Brian at Travel Freak 256. Make sure you hit that follow button and get involved. And don't worry if you're just hopping onto this interview like right now. I've got the whole interview recorded. I'm going to put it up on Instagram just now. We can do a little collaboration on the Instagram post. It's going to go up on YouTube as well, so you can watch it again and again and again. And I got to ask you, Brian, because, you know, we've been here, we've been talking about all your amazing work in sustainability and your creativity and sort of clean energy across the African continent. But we are here on Instagram Live. So I got to ask you about your Instagram handle, Travel Freak 256. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. How did you come up with this IG handle? We the people need to know. Talk to us. How did you come up with this Instagram handle?
Well, it's a really long story.
Is it? Okay, we have 9 minutes.
Where should I start? So back in the day, I've always been kind of like a travel enthusiast, I would say. I don't know if it's the right word to use, but I've always loved to travel because I believe traveling is the source of innovation. You get to see new ideas, and so you get to incorporate new ideas and cultures and practices into your thinking process, and then that then creates newer technologies and newer strategies and approaches to different different problems in life. And so I've always wanted to be this like out there guy, travel everywhere, a freak for travel, a freak for nature. And so I kind of like, when I was choosing this handle, I was like, well, I love to travel, so yeah, I'm a travel freak. And it kind of like then reflected in the way I do my things. So I do travel a lot. Like my projects and my company have helped me kind of get a lot of opportunities to travel, and so I've been to right now about 37 countries, and
Woo!
so that's already amazing. So that's why I think Travel Freak fits, right?
It definitely fits. And I see Land is in the chat also saying amazing. And it is amazing to have the opportunity to travel, to engage in brand new countries, brand new communities, brand new cultures. I always say it here on this show on NIKKI BANZ Live that cross-cultural exchanges, having the opportunity to travel to a new place, is the absolute best thing that we can do to be more inclusive, to build more tolerance, to understand people who are different from us. It's such a privilege and it's such a blessing to be able to travel. I see that Nigma _256 in the chat is giving some collabs. Yes, they agree 100%. And Demaxi as well. Land as well with the hands up in the air. So tell us, Mr. Travel Freak, top 3 places that you visited ever. Tell us, top 3 places.
Wow, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. I wouldn't say like I wouldn't rank them like number 1, number 2, number 3, but I would say the best countries, the best places in countries that I've been to. I would say Merida, Mexico was a treat. It was really amazing. And I think I would kind of put that to the people that I was with. right? And so the cultures that we met there, we had a lot of time there. We had a project with, it was the International Student Energy Summit, but after we had a project that was building stoves in Zavala village, and so it was a volunteer program with over 35 youth across the world, from across the world. And so the experience was really amazing. So much dancing, so much fun, so much drinking, so much party, and yet so much impact and so much work being done. And so it was amazing. I would also say the Philippines was really nice. I traveled to the Philippines. We were doing kind of like a project with a colleague who had a company that was doing social work also. So we kind of went there and we had a very long summer there, and so it was really about the people still. We were about 30 youth from across the world again, and so it was a really great experience hopping from one island to an island and doing so much great work there. And then probably number three will be India. I love India. I would like hands down. I love India. Like it's a basket of experience. I got a chance to travel to so many parts of India during an 8-month stay. I would just even call it a year because that was a whole year in India.
Wow.
And hands down, India was amazing. I don't rank all my places, but India would still come up as number one if I'm to rank.
I love
It
it.
was amazing. I met so many people, so many amazing. I even like right now, top of my best friends is Indian, and so it's like it was a breathtaking experience living there. And the best place in India for me was Kanyakumari, where like it's like at the edge, like the edge of India, like that horn of India, like at the bottom,
Wow.
the real bottom of India, and it had like the most amazing sunset, like the most breathtaking sunset. It was amazing.
It sounds
Yeah, that
so
was.
divine. And the fact,
It was divine. It was.
honestly, Brian, the fact that you not only got to just visit some of these places, but actually live in some of these places and fully immerse yourself in the culture
Yeah.
and the community is so beautiful. Okay, so you said India, the Philippines, and Mexico. I love it. Tell us in the chat if either of those places are any of your top three as well. I have a totally different top three, but that's the beauty of travel, that like we can go to all these places and certain lands, certain languages, certain foods, certain dances just connect and resonate with each of us in different ways, you know, which is just so special. And Brian, we're getting to the very end of our interview now. We've been here. This is NIKKI BANZ Live. We've been talking to the Opportunity Desk Impact Challenge 2023 winner, Brian Kakembo. Brian, you are an incredible social entrepreneur, a sustainability champion, creating opportunities for women and young people across Uganda, and also creating a clean energy solution to folks who need heat, to folks who need power across Uganda and the world. Any final thoughts for us here on this interview during NIKKI BANZ Live?
Yes. Some of the things, of course, I will always encourage youth is to join youth networks across the globe. There's so many youth networks that I am part of, and they have helped me kind of build my ideas, also kind of work towards a better, a better and more sustainable future. One of them is Yango. Yango is really amazing. Another one is Student Energy. Anyone out there who's a student or not a student, I would encourage them to kind of like check out Student Energy. It's an amazing organization that is a youth-led organization that has a focus on sustainable energy and the sustainable energy future. And so it's really, really important for you to get to know what other youth out there are doing, and youth-led organizations are doing, because then it kind of then gives you the opportunity to know what you can do and kind of explore yourself and the opportunities around you.
Yes, yes, yes. Youth networks all the way. So if you are a young person watching this, join a youth network, join an entrepreneurial community, find people who have the same passions and interests as you. And who knows, maybe you might end up right here on NIKKI BANZ Live one day, just like Brian. Brian, I have to say, it has just been so inspiring talking to you. You have such an incredible story. You are representing Uganda and taking your beautiful culture and innovation and creativity and work ethic across the world. You're an ambassador not only for Uganda, but for the entire African continent. It's truly a pleasure to speak with you, to learn more about you, and to be able to share your story with the world. So congratulations again on being the ODIC 2023 winner. And thank you for joining me here on NIKKI BANZ Live today.
Thank you for having me, Nikki. It was really fun.
So much fun. I'm glad that we finally figured out how to make the interview work, because I was worried there in the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, at least now we know. Next time,
Yeah.
VPN.
Yeah. VPN
Oh
straight
my
away.
gosh. Well, I see Afua Sam is in the chat saying this is so powerful, powerful in all caps. I see Journey with Linda giving you a bunch of claps saying, Brian, upwards and forward. The love is real here today. And like I said, this is NIKKI BANZ Live, your favorite interview series where every single week I'm interviewing a different guest from a different country. Brian, you are my first ever guest from Uganda. We're putting Uganda on the map big time. If you are not following me on Instagram, make sure you follow me at They Call Me Bands. If you're not following Brian on Instagram, make sure that you're following Brian at TravelFreak256. You can literally go to the top of your screen right now, hit that little white arrow in the center, and hit the follow button immediately to stay in touch with Brian's super inspiring journey and to stay in touch with me as well. Once again, this is NIKKI BANZ Live in collaboration with Opportunity Desk, featuring the one and only Brian Kakembo. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us.